Okay, I want to get this because this is for documentation purposes. These are demons that know that they're being disbanded and documented, and so they engage in playing games with their own lives and futures. Their families are going to be broken poor, they're going to prison, and they're going to be looking for places to live because everything they stole is going to be seized if it hasn't already. This is the Ontario police that are stalking. We're going to prison everybody in that library, just like when they're stalking and flying over the library. That's the same department. So is the City of Ontario with the Ontario Police Department. This is the entity that's doing so. I want you to recall the documentation when I'm coming from the Ontario Airport in, and they're playing these little stupid games. They're playing with the wrong person. Everybody that I documented this morning is engaging in the pattern of conduct with that department. All it does is confirm the ongoing evidence, which I don't need. My evidence unilaterally establishes a criminal pattern of conduct. But moreover, this department engaging what is stalking me, using vehicles to do so, incriminating the mayor, that's engaging what is this ongoing threat communicated as an entity that engages in kidnapping, is engaged in vagina monitoring, is engaged in ongoing harassment and threatening conduct, psychological torture while you're stalking under a fake sun, the same fake sun that's here at 4:03 p.m. on video, while the entity flies over my head by helicopter as I refer to that evidence. That's that same documentation regarding that agency. This is an entity that's engaged in. I want you to see this. This is why Mike LORENZ and that agency is being disbanded. Not only are they criminals, they're mentally unwell, they're unfit. This is demonic with regard to stalking in the path with light, doing while the fake sun remains over me. Okay, P.O.C. Remember on Sunday when I'm coming here after 1 o'clock in the afternoon and this fake sun's in the same position? That's a demon. And that agency represents what is the Ontario Police Department. The entities engaging in this while the people of the state, that's Alexander Grigg, that's Kelly Blacken, Sean Thrasher. You have what is the entity that's gang stalking, in other words, all the employees that are pacing through this library all day long on behalf of that agency under a fake sun. It's not helpful in court. The federal judges, the federal law is going to incorporate, be cognizant of the criminal activity of this agency, which is informing, facilitating what is this public corruption, which is why they're also being disbanded. P.O.C. greeting you with the entity that's conspiring your murder, acting directly, is an unlawful threat posed by those that committed kidnapping on June 16, 2022 at this same venue, where I'm showing you the fake sun is remaining. That is indeed a kidnapping under federal law. Okay, that's the P.O.C. It is currently, by the way, 10:07 a.m. This is who Rosa and her all her gang stalking kids, they're gang stalking. Her social workers are gang stalking with the state of California. They're inside of this library engaging in what are a series of federal offenses. They're terrorists. Where the airport is stalking here, where the police are stalking here, this is where the people of the state are engaging in that. Remember my documentation, what I'm stating, Ontario Airport in, I come here and the Ontario police park their vehicle right here in the middle of the afternoon as I arrive. This is the pattern of conduct. Okay, this is P.O.C. Gerber is parked at the Ontario Town Square at 6 p.m. during daylight savings time. While the fake sun is over me engaging in surveillance, that's the P.O.C. This is the entity gang stalked by Southwest Airlines in concert with the entity Jay Sandoval at 8 in the morning. Oh, it is Gerber. Hello there. Hey, this is P.O.C. Is that why you were parked by there? You were here to see me parked down there?
Well, I'm patrolling this area.
Oh, okay.
Hey, this paperwork
this
right
is
now
this is the pattern of conduct. It's 10 a.m. Excuse me, let me get on video.
This is formally banning you from the library for the next year, so you come back, you could be arrested.
Who is giving me that?
The city is.
Why?
The administrator.
What happened?
It's written down in here.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know the exact reason. They just asked me to serve it to you.
Okay. So who is they?
The director of the library.
And what's their name? So you just come around handing out paper when I'm coming to the library? Have you been reporting every day?
Yes.
So you had a meeting. Let's get the facts on. So you are here before the library opens. I walk to the library. You're engaged in presence outside of the library, and then you're coming and giving me a paper that somebody inside the library gave you before I arrived.
I went and picked up this.
And you knew who I was by identity. You drove up, you drove back, and you came forward, and then you're coming and delivering me a paper, right?
Yes.
And this is because of what? What happened? You're just excluding. This is a public venue.
Something about filming people in the restroom. I don't
like
know.
Like what? Filming people in the you don't know, but you're giving me a ban. You don't know, like when I'm molesting children, and you don't know about that either, but you engage in kidnapping.
Are you saying you're molesting children?
This is no. This agency has stated that, made unfounded allegations, which is why you're mysteriously giving me this. Is this supposed to have authority under the law?
The back of it has how you can appeal it.
I understand this is the City of Ontario. This is the City of Ontario that's harassing.
Hey, Jesse,
while you're engaging in, hold on, is my name on it?
What do you mean with Kevin?
This is the same C. Gerber that's under the fake sun at 6 p.m. by the way. This is also gang stalking with the entity that's engaged in this P.O.C. Nothing happened. I'm going to document this, Gerber. You're crazy if you think I'm not. There's nothing that happened. Nothing that happened with regard to a confrontation other than the entity harassing. What about Rosa and the one that's the ones that are yelling at me in the library? This is the P.O.C. Is there something that happened there? Am I the only one that's being excluded?
Is there something that happened there?
Yeah, I haven't spoken to Sean Thrasher. I greet him every morning. What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? So you're just handing over the same department that's gang stalking?
Sure. Here you go.
Sure. Was that an admission?
Sure.
Okay, so what's the process for refuting this? Because it's
It's on the last
felonious.
paper.
And it's also erroneous.
Right here. You can explain it. You got more legal knowledge than I do.
How do you know that?
Weren't you a former attorney?
Who told you that? No, I didn't. We never had a conversation. You battered me, but we didn't have a conversation about my background.
You told me about that.
No, I have not. You're a liar.
Here you go.
I documented my encounters with you. You're gang stalking here. There wasn't a conversation, and gang stalking at the bus stop.
Just take the paper.
And you know me on a first name basis. These are a series of admissions while they're gang stalking.
pretty sure
And
we've
this is the
spoken
city of
plenty
Ontario
of
that's
times.
engaging in the P.O.C. And exclusion is an unlawful basis because of the intent to obstruct justice while they're gang stalking. That's what Southwest Airlines is doing. I just want to be clear. And this is relevant to Paul Leon. They all know that they're being documented, and they are also aware of the fact that it's being published on the venue of the internet. While you are fearful because you are going to prison and your tacky glasses while you have a gun on your waist and engage in what is an unlawful threat because you are engaged in the pattern of conduct, that's an unlawful threat communicated by all of you equally when you're engaging in kidnapping. This is supposed to be authoritative because you're wearing that uniform and you don't even represent actual authority. You are a coward. You're scared because I'm putting the information that you're committing on the internet. So I got to go to the city hall and document them? Yeah, I'll do that. This is the P.O.C. This is the entity. This is exactly what the city of Ontario has been engaging in. And this is, again, before nothing is occurring other than Rosa and her son, which I've been documenting all the entire time. And by the way, while I am inside of, while I'm outside, first of all, what are you violating while I'm outside capturing the fake sun? The beautiful sky space? What is that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. And you don't know. Of course, he has no idea. He has no idea what's going on. He's delivering it to me. He's here anticipating my arrival, and he's giving me some mysterious exclusion. While Sean Thrasher knows exactly what it is that's being documented about him, while there's no conversation with him, there's no encounter with him, this is the entity that's engaging in surveillance. And this is surveillance right now. This is demon possession. This is light activity. This is light activity committed by somebody that's bearing a gun. And also is a coward, okay? They're engaged in this conduct, stalking by helicopter. The evidence is too heavy, and they're engaged in that P.O.C. Jay Sandoval is gang stalking under the 8:38 a.m. fake sun, by the way, as a matter of evidence. But I just want to document this. This is from the city of Ontario that is engaging in the criminal pattern of conduct. Okay? This is P.O.C. It is currently 10:12 a.m. This is the entity that's engaging in psychopathic pacing on behalf of this agency. The entity that's engaged in the pattern of conduct while this fake sun is here at 4 p.m. That's the same entity that's handing over a letter that's from the city of Ontario after nothing has precipitated this form with regard to exclusion. But the entity that I'm documenting and speaking to security about, security that's gang stalking nonetheless, while the entity is harassing me inside of that venue, yelling at me across the room, making unfounded accusations about what I'm doing on my phone, because you know what I'm doing on my phone, which is also not unlawful. All right, this is the entity that's conspiring murder, and that's the P.O.C. with regard to the entity that doesn't want the published kidnapping on June 16, 2022 on the internet, the entity that's hostile to publishing the evidence of the gang stalking neighborhoods on the internet. That's the entity that's engaged in that while I'm documenting and simultaneously prosecuting the hostile mayor who's right here in relevant position where the fake sun is still here in the evening. That is what has no authority under the law. That's what commits kidnappings. That's what's sharing that criminal pattern of conduct. And this is supposed to be the strong arm enforcing that criminal surveillance. This is why 4'2" urine-reeking third parties have the audacity to jump in front of you like they're going to batter you, like they're going to harm you, because they have these puppets behind them gang stalking with them. That's why. That's an unlawful threat. This is the entity. Remember the fake sun that I'm capturing after 3 o'clock in the afternoon? It's in the same position. I step outside of the same entrance after 3 p.m. This is the P.O.C. And I just want to be clear. This is a concession to defeat. This is the U.S. government that's been engaging in this on an ongoing basis. This is the entity that's engaging in that while they are hostile to being exposed, not only as demons, but as criminals engaged in surveillance in furtherance of murder. All right? But I just want to be clear. Those are the principal matter. As a matter of what is the immediate issue, this is an entity that's engaged in what is exclusion by the same city that's gang stalking. This is the city that's engaged in what is discrimination based on what is their criminal activity seeking to obstruct justice. And that's just in the courtroom. Sean Thrasher is going to federal prison, and this is ongoing evidence of that. This is an entity that's engaging in what is unfounded accusations, nothing occurring. You don't call the police to the desk inside of the computer when you're talking about I'm recording. Who am I recording? And what accusations are you making? Oh, that didn't work. That doesn't look too good when it's on my YouTube channel, because you don't have any basis of knowledge regarding what I'm doing on my device. So you have them mysteriously arrive and meet me outside before I enter in order to hand me this document. This is the pattern of conduct, and that was a communicated threat regarding kidnapping, not a lawful arrest. Okay, this is not different from Craig Hazelwood and Owens engaging in kidnapping and referring to the municipal code. while they're engaging in federal stalking under Title 18 because of the fact that they are being documented. And this is while the entity is engaged in that POC with the federal government that is not interfering. This is the entity that's engaging in stabbing my foot at night, putting needles in my body, hovering over me day and night, stalking, flying, and literally in this video, there's no airport over here. Gerber is gang stalking while handing me this document on behalf of the City of Ontario, OVITT Family Community Library, who are hostile demons, fully caught, embarrassed even, with regard to the level of evidence that they are engaged in vagina monitoring, that they're stalkers. This is POC. It is currently 10:15 a.m. And this is again C. Gerber, who's engaged in assault and battery at the bus stop at 537 Good Avenue, where the fake sun's not rising anymore. He's also engaged in gang stalking after 6 p.m. surveillance, just like he is now. And that's the evidence that's serving to prosecute that department as well. When you're looking at the maintenance of this light source, this engineered environment, when you're showing what is that agency. And this is the agency with the entity that's maintaining surveillance in venues such as the library. The entity's maintaining, remember, he's here handing me this while the entity's keeping the fake sun over the Stater Brothers parking lot until after 12:50 in the afternoon. This is gang stalking, and this is gang stalking with the intent to obstruct justice. And this is after no events have occurred with regard to excluding me. I've been documenting, and I'm not documenting because I'm some converted covert criminal. This is the entity that engages in what are celebrating what is a concession to defeat, while they think, oh, we've stopped her now. They've been doing this for years and they're going to prison. That security guard's going to prison. That's Securitas. That's Brightview gang stalking. That's why they're over here monitoring while I'm taking pictures of them. They're monitoring with this demon over here who engaged in pacing before he approached me, knew exactly who I was. And that knowledge is proven through the environment. Not because he said my name. He's a demon. This agency is monitoring. That's what they're showing with the helicopter activity. License 1591659. The entity in June of 2025 at 1:07 p.m. This same agency, a gang of them right here, gang stalking as I'm walking from Starbucks. The fake sun is here. It includes a casada amongst that gang. They don't have authority to engage in it, but this is what you're going to prosecute for. And this is the basis of federal prison for Sean Thrasher. They're gang stalking with the City of Ontario that are utilizing the POC with regard to exclusion, because I'm documenting them. That's POC. Okay. It is currently 10:16 a.m.